Welcome back. An issue detrimental to students both inside and outside of the classroom is bullying. Here's guidance for students and parents and how Enterprise schools work to tackle the problem. As a new school year begins, Enterprise schools are encouraging students to remember the golden rule.
Treat others the way that you want to be treated. Put yourself in their shoes. Have a lot of understanding and empathy for your classmates.
Mental health service coordinator Allie Saxon shares the impact of what happens when that rule isn't followed.
I've seen it where they may not want to come to school, or they may have physiological symptoms, stomach aches, things like that. So it's really important for kids to speak up.
Speaking up and reporting bullying is what Enterprise City Schools family engagement specialist Destiny Hudson says students should do to help prevent this issue.
It's very important for students to report what they've either experienced or witnessed so that adults can intervene and help. We cannot fix the problem if we don't know about it.
She says parents have a role too.
I would encourage parents to check behind them and be sure that somebody at the school knows what's going on.
Enterprise City Schools focuses on education, intervention, and support to tackle bullying. Part of their approach, a kindness week every year, as well as yearly staff trainings. Saxon also helps us define what bullying is.
Some characteristics of bullying would be that it is an ongoing issue. It's happened more than once. It's on purpose, not like an accidental thing, and also a perceived power imbalance.
According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's Youth Risk Behavior Survey, in 2023, 19% of high school students were bullied on school property during the past year. In 2021, that number was 15%. Dana Bonney with the 334 Prevention Project, a substance misuse prevention organization that also raises awareness about bullying, emphasizes students themselves play an important role in prevention.
Students can they have a huge opportunity every day to come alongside their peers.
Bonnie says student programs like the 334 Prevention Project's Youth Council are one way to try to make a difference.
We encourage them to come alongside their peers, to stay connected to their teachers and to their peers so that they notice.
And as class begins again in Enterprise, students feeling safe at school is a top priority.
The main thing is we want kids to feel safe. We want them to feel included and not just physically safe, but emotionally safe at school.
Enterprise City Schools has a bullying reporting form that can be found online or in the front offices of the schools.